I didn't have to reach for the river this time. It reached for us before I even understood we were in danger. It threw him back like something swatting away an insect that had finally overstayed its welcome. It was over in seconds. After everything Nnamdi had built across this entire story, it ended with him flat on his back in the dirt, disarmed by water he never once understood. He laughed. That frightened me more than the knife had. Men who lose everything and still find something to laugh about are usually holding one more card nobody's seen yet. I trusted your counsel for years, the Duke said quietly. I assumed your ambition was your own. I was wrong, wasn't I? You always assumed I served you, Nnamdi said. I only ever let you believe that because it made you easier to guide. He drew out a small token instead of a weapon. The same seal I'd seen pressed into red wax on that letter weeks ago in a study I was never supposed to enter. I had never seen Baba Fasuranti afraid of anything. Not the river, not the death, not even death. The way he spoke about his own life so lightly, he was afraid of that token. Where did you get that? Baba Fasuranti demanded. Not curious, urgent, in a way that made the whole compound go quiet. You know exactly what this is, old man, Nnamdi said. You've simply spent your whole life pretending your river was the only power still watching this land. There is an old order, he told us, older than this kingdom, older than the river's death itself. They do not make bargains with kingdoms for rain or protection. They collect something else entirely, and they have been watching this river and everyone connected to it for far longer than any of us realized. The Duke's war was never the real threat, Nnamdi said. It was a distraction I built myself to keep this kingdom looking at soldiers instead of noticing what was actually approaching. They don't want your throne, girls, he said. They want what your mother traded herself to protect. And now that the two of you have finally reunited it in one piece, you've made yourselves considerably easier to find. I looked down at the glowing medallion in my hands, the thing I had spent this entire story learning to understand, and realized we might have just rung a bell that something far worse than a Duke's army had been waiting 17 years to hear. The guards reached for him. Their hands passed straight through, like he had already stopped being fully present the moment he'd said too much. I was only ever the messenger. His voice echoed, already fading. The real collectors are already on their way. Enjoy your reunion while it lasts. He was gone, not dead, not captured, simply gone, the way a warning disappears once it's finished being useful. And somewhere beyond that compound, beyond the river, beyond even the kingdom itself, something old had just been told exactly where to find us. We didn't get the luxury of panicking properly. A kingdom doesn't stop needing decisions just because something ancient now knows your name. So we did the only thing left to do. We kept moving. And we decided, finally, what kind of queens we were going to become before whatever was coming had the chance to decide it for us. We buried the Duke's war within a week. Soldiers went home, banners came down, but nobody in that palace slept easily anymore because we all understood the real danger hadn't even introduced itself yet. The Duke knelt before a throne he once marched an army toward. Grief, it turns out, can accomplish what pride never could. Owamiri and this kingdom share an enemy now far greater than either of us, the king said. Let us stop wasting soldiers on each other. Dio didn't forgive his father completely. I don't think anyone should ever expect that kind of forgiveness to arrive all at once. But he stood beside him. That was enough of a beginning. They are called the keepers of the old ledger, Baba Fasoranti told the room. They do not conquer kingdoms. They collect debts older than kingdoms, debts made with rivers, mountains, forests, and the spirits within them, and they do not send armies. They send exactly enough to finish the job quietly. Then we stop hiding what we are, Isioma said. Nnamdi already told them everything that matters. There's no version of this where staying quiet protects us anymore. For once, I agreed with my sister immediately. I had spent 17 years being hidden for my own protection. I was finished with that particular kind of safety. Then it is time, the king said quietly, to finally settle who will stand at this kingdom's front when whatever is coming arrives. We had discussed it privately days before, sitting together by the same window where I'd once watched the river burn. Neither of us would take the crown alone, Isioma announced. Our mother spent her life trying to give us both an equal share of a debt she thought only one of us should carry. We are not going to repeat her mistake in reverse by making only one of us carry a crown. We rule together, I said, or this kingdom doesn't get either of us. No kingdom in living memory had ever been ruled by two queens at once. I watched the council try to decide whether that made us braver or simply more inconvenient. Your mother rewrote what this river was willing to accept, the king said. I see no reason her daughters cannot rewrite what this throne is willing to accept as well. One by one, they bowed, not because they fully understood it yet, because they had watched us survive enough of this story to trust that we understood it better than they did. While the palace celebrated, Baba Fasoranti stood alone at the river, and I found him there long after everyone else had gone to sleep. You don't look like a man who just watched a war end peacefully, I told him. He didn't turn to look at me when he answered. Because it hasn't ended, he said quietly. It has only just been noticed. And when I followed his gaze across the water, I saw it too. A single light on the far bank, where no village, no road, and no reason for anyone to be standing had ever existed before. If this chapter stayed with you, don't leave without telling me what you are thinking. Who do you believe the keepers of the old ledger really are? And who was standing across the river holding that single torch? I would love to hear your theory, because every time I read your comments, I realize so many of you notice clues that others completely miss. If this story touched you, please like this video, share it with someone who loves unforgettable African stories, and subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. This is Moonlight Tales by Joy, bringing you new original stories and episodes every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Until the next episode, keep your eyes on the river.